This week, we explore our transition to find out who we really are. Greetings! I'm Roger Newbold, the host of the Experience Photography's video podcast, episode number 60. In today's presentation, we've got a lot of good things here for you today. My partner, great friend, tremendous photographer, and editor for this episode is Mr. Matt Rich. My friend, are you on your new knees yet? I hope you're doing well.
Made it.
Appraising our progress and our transitions through life and through our final evolution leads us into today's discussion. One of my favorite non-photographic artists was the flamboyant and grandiose Vincent van Gogh. Why should anybody care about a person that everyone in his own time labeled as an argumentative troublemaker? Especially, his former friend Paul Gauguin. Many of the fellow citizens of Arles, France, signed a petition against a fellow citizen and said he was a great danger to the community. Often thought crazy and totally out of touch, he moped around with his head hung low and often not very communicative. Well, all of these qualities over time led him on a free trip to the loony bin. So why should they care? More than that, why should we care today? Maybe it's they didn't look at him the way he saw himself. After years of study at school and personal research, I reached my conclusion that dear old Vincent did not deserve the bad rap that he was papered with. First of all, he was a well-paid assistant art dealer in The Hague, in Paris, in London, and he made 4 times the money his father did in annual salary. He was well known through the art community. Through all of his sales connections, he was well respected for his opinion. While taking art classes, he wrote a number of letters to his brother Theo. He described his progress. Many were impressed that dear Vincent, he spoke Dutch, French, English, and could fluently read German. He also described many of the hundreds of books that he had read. His writings were eloquent, clear and vivid. He proved that he had a keen eye for observation and marvelous powers of description. Many accused Vincent of being disheveled, hurried, out of control in his painting style. And that was simply not true. His letters contained carefully planned out sketches and thoughtful drawings supporting his methodical sophistication and pre-planning. He took inspiration from other artists, but he used them as he saw fit. He was thoroughly disinclined to copy others, even though his final brushstrokes may have proved to be swift and swift-looking. His work was well done. He was radical for his time. And tell me, what's wrong with that? As for Van Gogh being a dreary loner, we realize that though he had a lot of long-term friends, it was due mostly to the fact that Vincent traveled a great deal. However, those deep friends he made were true to him throughout his entire life. My contention remains that if he could have received proper medical care and attention for his bipolar disorder, he would have survived and worked much, much longer. But the biggest part of his life, he was stable, he was free, he was generous. The medical profession of the time could not agree on any particular diagnosis. Therefore, they were unable to help poor Vincent. He was, you might say, forced to change course. Now, I understand what you tried to say to me and how you suffered for your sanity and how you tried to set them free. They would not listen. They did not know. Perhaps they'll listen now. Thank you, Mr. Don McLean, for your sympathetic words and from the bottom of my heart. After our quick examination of Van Gogh's life, I'm guessing that you may wish to know more about who you really are. I will attempt to list a few reasons why I found this to be appropriate. First, knowing who you are allows you more easily to analyze and open and express your desires. You knowing makes you more likely that you can obtain your yearnings. Only you can know what makes your boat float, what draws your attention. What are you curious about? What are your passions? What are your hobbies? What are the things that interest you? Often this requires some time, a couple of course corrections, or at least changing majors once or twice in college to conclude who you really are. But eventually, you must come to know yourself. Second, you may note your temperament levels by reviewing your personal happiness meter. Where do you rate yourself? Are you happy? Are you cranky? Are you miserable? Do you control the levels, or do you let them regulate you? Are you constantly attempting to annihilate everything, or work peaceably within your surroundings? Do you make decisions based on feelings or thoughts and facts? Do you like the big ideas, or do you just like weaving the details together? Third, do you willingly engage others and simply dispatch your gloomy inner conflicts? Can it only be you, or you to work with others? Can you allow some control to subcontractors, or must you even carve and varnish the frame yourself? Fourth, do you possess an ability to analyze your problems? Do you understand them and make them better decisions? Is the solution just spent until you get things correct, or is it possible to make it there from here? Patient and hardworking, or damn the torpedoes, we're going full speed ahead. Gladness forms your ability to resist heavy, undue social pressures, while fully encouraging better self-control. Maybe this whisks up a better you, or at least it'll be a different you. Fifth, happiness definitely supports a larger, richer, more exciting quality of life. It permits you to scrutinize your own personal foibles, and therefore you may empathize with others and build a gregarious team-type affiliation. Extrovert or introvert? That's not the most important characteristic. I credit knowing your own ability as a crucial step to embracing your authenticity in life. Self-discovery brings self-awareness. It brings increased self-confidence. It brings authentic relationships and greater meanings and fulfillment. So take the big step. Make an effort to unscramble your life map now. Certainly don't wait for the tribe to vote you out with poor old Vincent. I think it's obvious, at least to me, that our identity is not fixed in stone. Even the stone markers on the old Canterbury Trail have changed somewhat over the past centuries. I would like to reserve the right to change for the better if I saw fit. During my lifetime, my ideas, my desires have greatly changed since I began photography in the 70s. I don't regularly make the same images of the same things, and certainly, unquestionably, not in the same manner. I mean, who wouldn't change over 50 years? Let's use Edward Steichen, American photographer, lived 1879 to 1973, for example. In 1907, he was photographing fashion in Paris. This image is after the steeplechase. During World War II, he served as a lieutenant commander and head of a naval photographic unit. And this picture was entitled The Afternoon Wing, 1944. When the war ended, he found more work, different kind of work, a whole different genre. And he began capturing beautiful actresses. At this time, Miss Loretta Young, 1948. She was a hottie. Circumstances changed. Cameras changed. Opportunities changed. Thus, he had to change. Now, you and I are no different. We roll where the light points us. We seek new adventures. Use new toys. We're not robots. So how do you align your last year's model of you? Look at even the short cycle you may be involved in. Here's a beautiful image at Cape Royal at sunrise on the Grand Canyon by Matt Rich. I love it. Who wouldn't want to wake up to such a colorful and stunning sight? No wonder we taught workshops there for years and years and years. What a stunning sight! Now, this second image is no less glorious. The only thing it changed was the time of day, and thus the overall color temperature. Cape Royal at sunset on the Grand Canyon by Matt. The cyclic difference of the universe concedes that we see and react to things differently. Look at image 3. The daunting hike through the shifting stands affords a striking view of the Utah desert to a point called The Wave by Matt Rich. His rendition reveals the architecture of Mother Nature's work over a long period. Now, 4, after seeing the bones of the canyon, Matt captured the most fantastic shot of the wave squared. It's an intense surge, a flood water, divulges exactly how the canyon was formed. One day when you're with him, ask Matt about the dangers of swift water in there. Interestingly, the cosmic succession makes it nearly impossible to look or run away. But a beautiful, beautiful picture. short cycles resembling the change from summer to autumn, the colors that provide us with quick change results, the hasty snap into the winter cycle revises the pictures that are made available to us. And you need to be constantly aware of the changes around you as much as you need to be aware of the transformations going on within you. See how you react. Learn to accept transformations in your life and in your culture. Be willing to stretch your soul and grow. Find a new way to photograph and hold old subjects. Devise a plan with a new manner of attack and then dive in like Vincent van Gogh. Let your results reveal new enthusiasm, new methods of working, new colors, or not. Be bold. Go where you've never been before. If you do the same thing, you'll get the same results. Get up, get out of the rut, explore a new horizon. Who are you? Step through the portal. Find what is fantastic in there. Can you take a chance? Can you be more like Vincent van Gogh and maybe less like Elmer Fudd? Well, here's hoping you find out who you really are and just get on with becoming greater. Our time for today has elapsed. So I hope you make a new friend and share this with them. Photograph with greater abandon. Hey, come on, subscribe to our channel. Give us a big thumbs up. Build the channel so we can do more to help you. Thanks for watching. I sure hope you discover another creative you just for yearning for your freedom in this episode. Seek the impossible. You'll never be disappointed. Matt and I salute you. So until we meet again on channel, a tip of my hat to you, and cheerio.